Alright everyone, a document was compiled by some Trump supporters of a large number of left extremists, that is like Antifa, commies, stuff like that, including personal information, and was distributed on a Discord server and Buzzfeed. The only journalism that they conduct is they try to like keep an eye on far-right groups from time to see when this sort of stuff happens, because they want to like generate fake outrage. Like, people are going to pretend, oh, names and phone numbers, that's not public information, that's like private, this is doxing and stuff like that. Yeah, but if somebody like wears a mask and goes to rallies to throw rocks at people or like Molotov cocktails or something, I think that it should be like public record what their personal info is, so people can, in their community, can keep an eye on them, because they're obviously violent individuals. It's like some people, they're like name, their phone number, address and stuff. It's like basically public info and they don't fucking care. Like, I know my address is out there. It doesn't bother me because I don't go around throwing like rocks through people's windows and try to be a civilized person. The difference is, like Antifa, they don't bother. They're sort of like the weekend warriors of the far left. The idea is they act more or less normal, which means they like huff Dorito fumes and stuff all week. And then on the weekends, they get together with their drunken buddies for a celebration. They go pretend that they're fighting fascism by, like, lighting buildings on fire or something. Whenever something is offensive to them, which means something is not in the form of either communism or hardline left anarchism, then, of course, they say, oh, racist, homophobes, stuff like that. That's how Antifa operates. So I think this is actually quite funny. Buzzfeed apparently does not share my sense of humor, because they're saying, oh no, violence risk, horrible thing. Yeah, violence is being spawned by the people that are probably on this list. If this is like digging for Antifa info, yeah, those people, every single one of them has probably committed at least some petty crimes. Some of them, they've probably committed multiple arsons, assaults, and stuff like that. But if they're in the right city, the police won't even bother to intervene. Like, they just let them beat on people. Because in some of these cities, if the city council, if like the mayor or whatever is cocked, then they'll direct the police, just stand back, let it take its course, let them be violent to our actual law-abiding citizens, because who fucking cares? And these cities, unfortunately, cities and states rather, tend to overlap with having severe penalties for people who defend themselves. We've seen this multiple times where somebody's getting beaten on by some hooded freak from Antifa, and then they fight back, and they're the ones that get carted off for disturbing the peace, or unlawful use of self-defense, because fuck you, basically. And it's a retarded thing. So it's good that we know who these people are, where they're at, so that their neighbors can keep an eye on them, can make sure they're not going to do the violent stuff that they do in the inner cities, in minority neighborhoods often, funnily enough, or college campuses where you'd think they'd feel right at home with people who agree with them ideologically. They go home to like their lily-white suburban gated communities usually, because that's usually where these idiots are from. We got to make sure that they're not burning down their neighbors' homes. They need to be surveilled by the rest of the population. I don't believe in government surveillance, but if neighbors want to keep tabs on people who might be a problem within their communities, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you can't like aim a camera at their house, but if you see them lugging large amounts of gasoline into their car, yeah, you may want to send in a tip, because maybe the police in your lily-white gated Antifa-rich community, the one that hasn't been culturally enriched, maybe they'll actually fucking do something about it, because they're like on the margins of the cucked inner city or something. So that's my hope. I hope some of these people get arrested for their crimes, because they're making like pressure cooker bombs or something like that. They probably will. Antifa's MO is more hitting someone with a 2x4 or throwing rocks than building bombs, but you never know. They might go full Weather Underground at any time, especially in today's political climate. So it just sort of makes sense. And then, of course, you'll probably have people on this list that aren't actual leftists that have done nothing wrong. It's always a hazard. That's always a problem when you're conducting this sort of reconnaissance on political individuals, that somebody gets swept up and isn't actually part of the group. So that does need to be kept in mind, as some of these people probably are not. Antifa members, commies, something. You know, they haven't thrown any rocks lately. Maybe at the raccoons that root around in their garbage or something, and that's all. So just keep that in mind, and good work to those that compiled this list. That's about all. Peace out.